While the effect of the riots will clearly be felt hardest by the community, they have been making the news around the world. And exactly a year before the busiest day of the Olympics in 2012, the headlines could not be worse for the host city.
Rioters have gone on a violent rampage in London, torching cars and a double-decker bus and pelting explosives at police. Around 300 demonstrators clashed with officers, angered by the fatal police shooting of a young father.
Tensions are high tonight in London, one day after the streets there erupted in anger and flames when a police protest spun wildly out of control.
British police have battled to restore order after looters rampaged through a North London suburb. A few hundred people were protesting against the fatal police shooting of a local man. Petrol bombs were hurled at patrol cars. 8 police officers were injured and taken to hospital.
Michelle Kaczynski is the NBC correspondent for London. Good evening to you, Ms. Kaczynski.
Hi, Ben.
I think with all your extensive financial problems...
Hi, Ben. Yeah, it's been a big story in the U.S., and you can imagine that it would be anywhere. And even if this was happening in another major city, Americans would absolutely have an interest in this, take notice of this. I mean, can you imagine if this was happening in New York City? What an enormous story that would be nationally for our own country, but around the world. I mean, so many Americans recognize London. It's familiar to them. So much of your news is big news in the U.S. I mean, look at the royal wedding. The Olympics are very important to us and will continue to be. Phone hacking has been a big story in the U.S. So to see this happening, those stunning pictures, it does give Americans pause. The story that's been going on for a couple of days now, and what we share culturally, economically, politically, the way our systems operate. I think Americans look at this and say, what is going on? And in the U.S., where gun crime is common, many people believe that there are no guns in the U.S., and to think that this might have some connection to gun crime, possibly not, we know that. But Americans look at this and say, you know, is that changing? Are there guns in the U.K.? Is crime becoming more of an issue? There's a curiosity and also a sympathy with Britain right now, Ben.
Well, clearly, you mentioned the royal wedding there, and that projected a very positive image of London. What about Americans who are considering coming to London for their holidays, perhaps for the Olympics next year? Do you think they might be put off by the pictures of these riots that we've been seeing over the weekend?
I would think most likely not. I mean, if this got to be much, much bigger, continued for weeks, something like that, it could give Americans a feeling that it might not be safe. But I think for the most part, it looks like what it is. Neighborhood crime related possibly to one incident. I mean, we know that there are underlying layers here, but it's happening for, you know, in areas that are largely unrecognizable to Americans. If this was going on near landmarks, it was happening outside Buckingham Palace, people would really take notice, and they might feel that sense of fear if they were going to travel here in the near future. But it's not like that right now. I think that as we get closer to the Olympics, it will be forgotten for the most part, Ben.
Well, that's good news indeed. Michelle Kaczynski, NBC correspondent, thank you very much indeed. Well, as we've said, there are reports of the violence spreading this evening in Lewisham, and tonight our reporter Charlene White is